Nice day out. Beautiful. I got about 5 or 6 cars to look at. I only got maybe an hour to do it, and trying to shift this manual. Yeah, probably just the everyday average car, something good. I always make sure to go look at them before I buy them. A lot of people do the sight unseen where you don't go look at it, you're states away. I don't like gambling that much. It's already a gamble getting them from the auction. So, to gamble without even looking at it, that's not, I used to do it all the time, but no, not doing that no more. That's how you lose. Get stuck with a piece of junk. When you have to do it, this is what you gotta do. Make sure that you're trying to get your risk as little as possible, so going to look at stuff is the only way to do it. And you only get, they got so many rules now that before they used to just let you walk by yourself, look at anything you wanted. Now you got to give them a list, and you can only look at so many cars if they're busy. And hold on. There we go. So, yeah, this is what's going on today. And then, I mean, every day I'm going to the auction, so I'm just going to start going live when I'm driving there, and especially on days like this. Like I said, I'm going to the auction up here, and going to look at about maybe 5 or 6 if they let me, because like I said, they get busy, and then they don't let you. They only let you look at 3 things at a time, and going back and then re-waiting in line and all that stuff, it gets time consuming. So like, I'm just trying to go there. Then hopefully look at all 6 at a time, but like I said, the auction has so many rules now. You know, they used to just let you walk around and look at everything you wanted to, but now you have to tell them what you're looking at, give them the lot number, and then someone brings you to the car and then sits there with you. And you can't have, I guess you can't have scanners no more, so that's even more of a gamble. And I'm really don't want to buy anything with engine lights on anymore, because you don't know if it's something stupid or if it's something major. And for them to do that is nuts, because it's already gambling on a car. It's hard to pick up a good one, even if it looks really nice usually the nicer looking ones are the ones that are junk, because they clean them up really good, and they try to get people to look at them. They try to get people to, you know, catch them with their eye, and then they get all these out-of-state buyers, which literally 80% of the people that buy from the auction are out of state. So they're buying stuff they've never looked at, they've never sat in, they've never nothing. And you know, it's crazy to me. And then that drives up the prices for the local people. And there's auctions in everyone's city, so it's not like, you know, I don't want other people to do it. I don't care. But what I'm saying is, you got people in Texas buying cars, and you got people in other states, and then they don't even look at the car, so it could be running like junk, like, you know, or something really seriously wrong, but they're gonna drive up the price because they like the pictures. And that's what I seen. Like, you can, when the companies list the cars, they can pay the auction a fee to clean it up and detail it before it goes through the auction. And see, that's what I'm saying. The cleaner the car is, usually means they're trying to sell it to you off the pictures. You know, these cars sit for maybe at least maybe 2 months before they go through. So someone could get in an accident or get a car repoed, and it will sit in the auction yard for 2-3 months before they actually put it through the auction. So when you go look at it and it's not dirty and it doesn't have no dust on it, I always get kind of weary about it, because they must have just cleaned it up to try to, you know, sell it off the photos, hoping someone out of state, or even people in state that don't actually drive to go look at the cars. Like, I always drive to go look at what I'm buying, and you know, it's a better thing for everyone, you know, because I'm gonna buy a better car. I'm not gonna buy junk and then pass it off to someone else. You know, pass it off to someone else. You know, and even crashed ones from the pictures. These people are professional picture takers. They know how to take crashed ones from the pictures. These people are professional picture takers. They know how to take pictures. So even the picture looked like the damage was very minimal. It's sometimes they hide it. Sometimes they'll take an angle of the picture where it looks like this ain't broke, but it is. Or this isn't dented, but it is. Uh-oh, semi. Man, it's absolutely gorgeous out today in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm actually driving a little bit out today, but I don't have my microphone. I'm sorry about that. My voice is all messed up, probably from the wind. But I wanted to get this drive because how nice of a day it is. But yeah, what I was saying, the auction, they're professionals. They know how to take a picture. So, they're professionals. They know how to take a picture. So, even though when you're looking at a car and you might say, oh, it might just need a front bumper. Well, they might not have showed you that the radiator's leaking, or the whole top of it is smashed and bent to where you're gonna have to do some bending and fixing. Like I said, they know how to take pictures, and they know how to hide stuff. So when you don't go look at the car you're buying from the auction, it's a 50-50 gamble. That's why I always try to at least go look at what I'm buying before I buy it. That way, you know, it's still a gamble for sure. At least you kind of know what you're getting. Kind of know, you know. Who knows, you might drive it home and the engine light pops on and it starts shifting funny. But for the most part, when you go look at them, you usually do better when you don't go look at them. And then what I hate, like I said, the people that don't go look, it drives up the prices. So if I went and looked at something that was really bad smashed or needed engine work, or, you know, was misfiring or something, I still, you know, our check engine light or lights on, I still might buy that car, but I want to get it for cheaper because the risk is going to be higher. But when people don't come look and they're in, you know, Arizona buying a car from Minnesota, you know, they drive up the price because they're just looking at the pictures. So like I said, and a lot of times the pictures, you know, they're professional picture takers. They know how to take a dang picture. So you know, they're professional picture takers. They know how to take a dang picture. So they'll make it look as good and as nice as they can, and then when you show up or you get it delivered, you get it dropped off, you're surprised because it's not what you expected. And like I said, you know, they can take different angled pictures. They can, you know, make it look like it's not dented, or like this isn't cracked, or, you know, they size the pictures funny where they don't show the edges of the, you know, the engine bay ones. I always see those ones where, you know, they size the pictures funny where they don't show the edges of the, you know, the engine bay ones. I always see those ones where they're like, you're literally, it's a huge risk. You're literally, it's a huge risk. And like I said, this is already taking huge risks, you know, buying cars that you start for 3 minutes or 5 minutes. And like I said, they got so many rules now that even this is like, I can only go look at three at a time if they're busy, and then I gotta come back in and resit in line and then go back out, and then someone follows you, you know, brings you on a truck. Yeah, I put this on my seat because otherwise you get out and it will be on fire. You'll have to sit there. So I've kind of learned some tips and tricks with the Slingshot. Yeah, it's a beautiful day, and I mean, it's not bad. Like I said, this is what I do for a living, so to walk around and, you know, on a beautiful day like this, or drive the Slingshot out here, I mean, it is work, and those yards are rocky and nasty, but, you know, it's all right. You guys, if you join, I'm gonna check in, and then I'm gonna go in the auction. So if you'll give me like 3 minutes, I'll be live again. Go in the auction. So if you'll give me like 3 minutes, I'll be live again. Yeah, check me out. Please come back in like 5 minutes. I'll be in there. Hopefully. But I'll definitely go live.